Okay, so I'm gonna do a 3-part story. So I guess here's part 1. If I'm looking down and not at the camera, it's because I have everything written down. So I had made a friend through my husband, like I had said in my previous video, and we became really close really fast. And we had been talking about getting pregnant and having kids and being lifelong friends and everything like that. So we were joking about getting pregnant, and she had said that her husband wanted to get pregnant for her to have a baby. And then she wasn't sure if she wanted to right then and there. But I knew that I wanted to, and my husband didn't want to at the time. So what we did, we joked about it. Oh yeah, we get pregnant at the same time, have the baby at the same time, and then we'll have kids that are the same age. And at first we were joking. So what ended up happening is her husband came back from deployment, and they ended up getting pregnant before they even started to try. And I was happy for them, but at the same time I was also a little, I guess, jealous because I wanted one so bad. So my husband and I tried for 3 years, like I said. We tried, fail after fail after fail. And finally, 3 years later, I ended up finding out I was pregnant on November 18th, 2018. I had actually gone to the doctor to double check that and make sure. It was positive. They told me that they don't do prenatal care. So I had to find somewhere else to go. And then when I talked to the doctor at that specific facility, she was not professional. She asked me if I'm going to keep the baby or if I want them to help me deal with the problem. And that was when I completely lost it. I told her that she's unprofessional, I will not refer anybody to them, and that my baby is not a problem, it's a blessing. I was about 13 weeks pregnant, I think, when I went with my mother-in-law to find out the gender. I didn't want to know. I wanted to wait until we had the gender reveal party, because that's what my husband wanted, was to do a gender reveal. It ended up being a girl. When I was 18 weeks pregnant, I was coming down the stairs from being up in my bedroom, and there was a carpet cleaner still plugged in with the cord on the stairs, and I slipped on the cord and I fell down 3 stairs. I dropped my water bottle and I dropped my phone and I landed on the stairs on my back. I think my youngest brother-in-law, I think he was a little bit more scared than anything. I don't think he knew what to do. He just turned around and went back upstairs after asking me if I was okay. Everybody in the house knew about it because, my brother saw it happen and everybody else heard it, so, yeah. I had a lot of Braxton Hicks contractions. My pregnancy was not the best. It was very hard on my body, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. I had gestational diabetes. And when I did start getting regular contractions, they were all in my back. I went to the Riverside Hospital 3 times before I actually had the baby. For issues, the first time I went was because I had originally been feeling her kick a little bit and move, and I stopped feeling her after a while. And I couldn't remember how long it had been since I had actually felt her move. And so I went into the hospital and I couldn't feel her move. So they're like, okay, we'll get you all set up and everything. And the second time I went was because I got this really sharp pain in my lower stomach. I mean, it was so bad to where it brought me to my knees. I was in the middle of cleaning my room, and it was so bad that it brought me down to my knees in excruciating pain. And then the third time was because my back was hurting. And I went in, and they're like, oh, it's normal. And my feet were swelled up like balloons at the time. And they swelled up overnight. It looked like I had elephantitis. That's how bad it was. And my legs were so thick and so swollen, and my feet were so thick and so swollen, they were hard as rocks. And I felt like if they got any bigger or more swollen or anything, that they were gonna like rip open. That's how bad my legs were. I'll insert a picture at the end. And then they told me that the back pain was normal. Well, and so then I went home. A couple of weeks later, I had a doctor's appointment with my OBGYN, and she said I was measuring 2 weeks more than what I should have been. I was 34 weeks pregnant at this time, and I was measuring 2 weeks larger than what I should have. It turned out that I had a lot of fluid. So I was telling my mother-in-law that, my back's still hurting really bad, and the Tylenol I'm taking is not doing anything at all. It was, if anything, felt like it was making it worse. I couldn't sit, I couldn't stand. I literally had to bend over one of our bar stools and be on my elbows like this, and just put my head down and sway my hips back and forth, because that's the only thing that would soothe it right at that point. It hurt to walk. It was bad. But I had my doctor's appointment, and she said that in 2 weeks she will schedule me for an ultrasound to see how much fluid I have, and if I have too much, then they will drain some of it. And literally 2 days later, I was going to be 34 weeks. 34 weeks at the day of Friday, which made me 34 weeks. I was fine. I was fine all day long, I had back pain, my legs were swollen, but I was fine, we had a good day, hung out with family and stuff. My husband got home from work, we were cool, we did everything, we wanted to do. We hung out a little bit, had dinner. We went upstairs, we were talking for a little bit. I was sitting on my bed. I went to go and lay down. I brought my right leg up and went to go lay down on my right side, and my water broke. It went everywhere. I had so much fluid, it was ridiculous. I was on my bed and my water broke, so I sat back up really quick. And Matt looked at me, he's all, what? And I didn't say anything. He's like, what's wrong? And I didn't say anything. I couldn't say anything. He asked me like 3 or 4 times before I said, I think my water broke. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, I think my water broke. And I stood up, and it was like Niagara Falls. No joke. It was like Niagara Falls. And I mean, it was 7:30 at night. I went into the hospital because my water broke. I was as calm as could possibly be. I thought I'd be a nervous wreck. The doctor that was on the floor in labor and delivery that night, he checked me a couple times and took samples, because when you go in for labor and delivery, they take samples to see if your water broke. They take samples to see if your water actually broke or not. And he said that it's supposed to like crystallize or whatever when they look at it or whatever. I don't really remember, but mine wasn't, so he wasn't positive my water broke. I was like, I did not pee myself. I was like, my water broke. And that's my pregnancy story. Next time will be my labor and delivery story. I know this is probably not the best video, but I mean, it's the start to my 3-part story here, because it's October and I feel that my daughter needs the recognition this month, because well, you'll hear her story next Wednesday. I'll have a story up on Friday as well this week. But I think she needs the recognition this month because it's pregnancy loss and infancy loss awareness this month. So I feel that it needs to be this month. That's why this is the first story I'm telling. I'm sorry for all the tears. These stories are not easy to tell and they're not my favorite, but they need to be told, and I think they need to be told this month. So that's just part of it. Part 2 will come later. No, I'm leaving you guys kind of at a cliffhanger, but I gotta do what I gotta do, I guess. It's better off that way, but I'll tell you labor and delivery next time, and then following from that will be the baby's story. You might have to wait until then to find out what her name is if you don't know me in person. So I guess I will see you guys later. Bye.